really about can you keep the composure, can you keep your communication clean, and then we will see who walks away with game number 1 and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and I think both of these squads, they draft well, right? It all comes down to execution. I think that some of the teams kind of, they try to change up the strategies here and there, and they've kind of like limited Bobby from his farm, and they kind of, attack Toshi or, even Freddy in some cases. Like we've seen these teams go really back and forth. So the strategies are kind of up in the air, but it's like how do the teams react and to really play into this game 1?
Yeah, example, right? Freddy, we all know his Hansing has been a menace in the group stages as well. I'm curious to see if Falcons feel like, hey, this is a problem, let's ban out the Hansing. But at this point, it doesn't look like it's a priority ban, and they want to secure the Dharma for Wawa instead. Good choice.
Great choice, great choice. I mean, this Dharma has been all over, right? In terms of, the Honor of Kings Championship at this point. It's the 3rd most picked hero. It is just so, it has a 64% win rate. I think it's going to be even higher after today with the earlier games, but everybody wants him, right? He has just so much control, the truth, the flashy plays. He has everything and the kitchen sink.
Okay, lady, I agree with you. We are looking for a 3-0 as well.
Well, she actually said it was an 0-3. I think that she was doing it for 3-0 from her own perspective, but I think at the end of the day, she might have 0-3'd her own Dominator team.
No, Dominator's on the right. I almost choked on my own saliva there.
All right, but look, they're going to pick up a Dominator here, Lady Shun and the Zhang Fei. They've banned up the Ming on themselves because, again, the Zhang Fei has been very highly contested as well. This has been, picked 25 times in the group stage. It has a 72% win rate. Teams just can win with it.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was fearing, right? I was kind of hoping that maybe Falcons would have gone for red side and prioritized this Zhang Fei because we know that Clue loves this pick, right? If it's not the Zhang Fei, he's been on Ming, and that's already been banned out. So his hero pool is kind of dwindling towards the end of this ban phase, and the Mai sure annoying for Joe.
I don't think it's that big of a problem, right? We have Wawa on this Dharma as well. He's going to be able to slam them against the wall. My main concern here is have DMT won in the mid lane because we have the Mai Shiranui.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be up in your face, right? And so it's going to come back to Team Falcons. How do they want to deal with this? What are they going to choose for Ray to kind of deal with this? Because, again, the Mai can be very flashy. It can blow you up. You got to be a little careful. But, again, they have the Menki and the Dharma to kind of create a little bit of a meat shield and to make it a little uncomfortable for them.
Yeah, the turnaround fight is pretty strong from the side of Falcons. At the same time, DMT, I really like this draft from them because number 1, they take away the Zhang Fei, and they themselves are pretty scary on this beast as well. And you have a lot of burst potential coming out from the Dominator lineup. And bear in mind, the way that Dominator plays, they like to play the map, which means they will always have the advantage.
Yeah, speaking of playing the map, they're going to do even more map control with this Augur. And that path of passing over the hills, just kind of, just getting the vision, plus you can just kind of pick people off from afar with the Death's Precipice at times. You can just do so much damage. You're going to have a lot of sustain, and it's going to be up front. And it's, again, another layer that's going to kind of protect the Mai and the Lady Soon here.
Yep, so I'm a little bit concerned we need a little bit of shred coming out from Falcons, right? So maybe they can consider an Angela, tank shred. It could be one of the things that with Chaos Cinder you can catch out the Ogryn as well. It looks like the control will come in the form of Lianpo as well as Mozi.
Yeah, so okay, this is what happened in Game 3 of the first match today, right? Chaz had actually picked up the Lianpo. That was in response to the Zhang Fei. I always look at Lianpo as like a poor man's Zhang Fei. He's just never as good. I mean, he's got that great Axolotl skin, but at the end of the day, I don't think sex appeal wins you games.
Well, Clue is a pretty reliable roamer, right? So I think he's going to be able to deal a lot of damage with this Lianpo. My concern for Falcons is Moz is not the best at clearing lanes, right? This guy is a bit slow, so he's going to need a bit of help. I like the combination of Lianpo and Moz together. There's a lot of CC off it, but once again, they give the Hanshin over to Mr. Freddy. And is that a mistake?
I don't know if that's going to be a mistake. But, I mean, look, Team Falcons right now, they're all in on this Bobby train, right? It's 4 protect 1. Lung is like the only one that really does straight up damage. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure. They got to ensure that he has as much space and time to farm as much as possible.
Yeah, and in fact, even the coaches are playing mind games. They didn't want to get the handshake or the fist bump correctly.
What happens if it turned into a hug?
More love on the gorge, right? I think we need a little bit more of that. But again, it's going to come back to this. This is the second match, first game of the day for these guys. There's going to be a lot of pressure, right? I think going into this one, both of these squads really want it here. But it looks like a little bit of action in this blue.
Wow. Freddy stole it straight away.
Freddy steals it. I mean, he's going to smite it. He's going to take that one out. But Wawa limps away. He's going to recall. But again, Dominator Esports not leaving the area anytime soon.
Yep, so this is big, right? So once again, Dominator, they have a lineup that requires a lot of growth, but at the same time, it's also a lineup that can abuse map control and offer the huge burst of damage. So DMT, this is a perfect start. With a minute to go, it might not seem like much, but 1,000 gold ahead, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, especially just a minute in, right? I mean, they just started the game. But again, I'm not too worried. I think that the other lanes, like the top, Wawa and Ray in the mid lane, I think they just need to kind of sustain as much as possible. Just slow it down. Don't let your T1s go get killed, and just try to give as much space to Bobby as possible because he's your lifeline.
I mean, Clue playing it a little bit too close for comfort here, I feel like. And FF gets knocked up. It is going to be my Shiranui coming through. Is it going to be a first blood? Oh, Freddy!
Freddy with a nice ruthless assault, just kind of jumping in right when he needs to. The control has been on point, and Falcons now on the defensive.
Slam, is he going to connect? Oh, okay, Al going in. I mean, he has to kind of force him away out of this fight.
Yeah, but you know what? He didn't die, but things go from bad to worse for the side of Falcons, but it's perfect for the side of Dominator. This was a good start. Look at the amount of damage they have laid down on that first tier tower.
Yeah, and this is why Dominator Esports are so good. From the first minute, literally, they're off 1K. They already have almost 1.5 at this point, and they've kind of pushed away Bobby where he has to do the walk of shame. He's not getting XP. He's not getting any gold. He's getting nothing.
Yeah, and it's all 3 lanes. Advantage in gold, advantage in EXP. So Dominator, I don't see how they're going to lose this early to mid game. In fact, this might be game 1 secured for Dominator, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Okay, come on, man. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Yes, they have a bit of an advantage, but you know, it's not at the end of the world, right? It's one good team fight and could change, but Falcons right now, you definitely don't want to be on the lower end of that net worth here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I get what Kim means though. I mean, it's very aggressive the way they're playing. They're able to invade the jungle early on, and even down into the lanes as well. They just haven't gave Falcons any room to breathe, and this is meant to be the whole function of the Motsu, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just picking people up from afar, those cannon blasts, just like stunning them, making it very uncomfortable to even last hit. You just definitely want to be in, you know, just a nuisance, so to speak.
Yeah, but I mean, you mentioned that, you know, Falcons sometimes have very messy gameplay, and Dominator, they are actually going to do that as well. They want it to be as messy, as scrappy as possible because they want to keep fighting. They already have the advantage. Let's just get more. Here we go.
Oh, okay. They're kicking away from the first tier turret as well. Freddy. I mean, is FF just a signature name for Freddy?
Apparently, he's a Freddy fan. That's what it is, the FF, right? Because he's given up 2 kills to Freddy, who's just happily taken that. He will continue to farm. Freddy doing a great job and just, you know, just invading and ensuring that FF has a bad game.
Yep. End of the day, it's for Freddy, right? So Freddy, he's going to oblige. He's going to take those kills, take that EXP as well, and take all of the jungle. Everything is not looking good for this side of Falcons. Dominator, they're going to start putting that pedal on the gas.
Yeah, they're going to start to put the pedal on the gas. Again, just trying to make it uncomfortable. But with the 4-minute one, it looks like the Tyrants, you know, Dominator Esports are looking to kind of secure that. They want to just make sure that the outside barrier is protected. You know, L just scurrying them away. He has the vision, and it looks like a little bit of a knock-up, but nonetheless, Freddy takes another one.
Yep, not going to happen for the side of Falcons. They have no opening at this point. Dominator just too far ahead. And right now, 3,000 in the bank more than Falcons.
Okay, but it's a best of 5. You know, we've seen teams go back and forth. I mean, sometimes you might drop a game. You might want to FF out of this one and just go into the next. But, I mean, not possible, by the way. But that said, Ray, they need to continue to slow it down, right? Just buy Bobby some time and let him farm.
Yeah, but it's easier said than done because Chipeng's already, as the class laner, has that Frost Scar Embrace. He's going to be able to deal a lot of damage and slow. That's the most important. He's able to set the team fight up for the rest of the team members like Toshi. Get the rolling rate, get the shots in, and with the stuns and knockup coming up from the Mai, Gerald is going to be another pain in the behind.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be annoying. And I mean, almost everyone right now has been winning their lane from Dominator. They've been pushing them out. Just like being annoying, and that's kind of what you want to do, especially in the laning phase.
Okay, the Dream Roll does connect onto Freddy. I mean, he's 2 levels ahead of FF right now. That's a little bit of worse for words, right? I mean, the Dominator already dominated in the early game with the engages and stuff like that, but right now, Freddy's into the top part of there. They do take the T1 into the bot lane as well. I mean, something needs to sort of break here, Falcons, and maybe this is it. We aren't going to get it just yet, though. Wow, a little bit too slow on the fists.
Yeah. And this is what pressure does, right? You put a little bit of pressure in the top lane. Freddy pretended like he was going to make some action happen, but actually the bottom was the real attack. They got the bottom T2, and it looks like they're going to rotate to the mid lane.
Yes, we do get a knockup from Freddy once more. I mean, I'm going to place it again. Han Shin. I never used to think anything of this hero, but recently, that tank version is pretty great, and it's doing a very good job, function, of keeping DMT ahead. The Dream Roll comes all the way through into the backline up. Falcons is just for a safety measure right now, but it is going to be T-Bangs that takes over the kill, takes the T1 as well into the mid lane.
Yeah. Opening after opening, DMT have been successful in finding all of these gaps that Falcon have, obliged to give them. And at this point, I think they might be too focused onto Freddy. And you can't blame them, right? Freddy is a hunting. He's really irritating to deal with. He needs to be taken care of as well. But you can't forget you have a Jill, you have a Toshi to deal with as well.
I mean, but Freddy's been doing everything solo. Like, he's been just invading by himself. He's getting in and out when he needs to. He's playing the Hanshin perfectly. Like, his farm has been on point. I want to see his gold at some point because he's got to have a huge lead against FF.
Yep. Level 11, he is 2 levels ahead of FF. And more importantly, he is about 3 levels ahead of the rest of the cast.
Yeah, and I mean, expected out of the jungler. Obviously not 2-level differential within the enemy jungler, but definitely from everyone else. But again, putting his team in a great position, he's in the mid lane and they were taking the Overlord. They don't even need his damage.
Yeah, and this might be one of the fastest series we have today if this continues at this point. L and Jill, they're just going to start looking and poking and prodding, looking for the next opening, right? And FF will do well not to get caught.
There we go, the knockup does come through. You just get the CC immunity from the ultimate, but this is the beauty of the Hanshin, right? He's able to get in there, get out, and so also just have like the ability to get the knockup. So if he gets a knockup, then my Shurino can come through, like we just see here. Earl with the actual unbridled outrage coming through, and Clue looking pretty low. Down goes the stump for Bangs as well. Crucial crowd control coming from DMT as they take the T2 into the clash lane.
L with an amazing stampede, connecting onto 3, and wow, Bobby Clue, boom! All 3 of them down for the count. The setup has been great. Dominated esports in the driver's seat, looking to end the game here.
Yes, as we can see there, they are rocking up at 8 minutes, guys. It is going to be game 1 to DMT. Think inside the box. DMT was thinking outside.
Yeah, thinking outside the box, but at the end of the day, Dominated Esports were like, hey, this is our strategy. We're going to close out this game. Full control of it.
Yeah, totally outclassed. This was a masterclass coming out from Dominated Esports. And, they were a little bit shaky against Mahadeva yesterday, but today there is no sign of that. They came to play.
Yeah, you don't want to give the end. And I think Dominator Sports really were well rested, they're good to go, and they played very strong. And that's kind of what we expected out of Dominator Sports. Now, I don't want to discount or count out Team Falcons because of the fact that this is a team that always happens to find